nonsensical Pittsburgh Steelers talk. Every single week we take that walk through the history, the present, and the future bright. Steel City stories shining ever so light. Yeah, Viking, Donkey, Gingy, Lasker, a legendary crew. Talking Steelers football through and through.
Jax, Janet's greetings. Welcome to your Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, hanging out with Bugboo this week. Bugboo, say hello.
Hello.
All right, so we got a little bit to talk about. I think since the last time we saw you, we had the Steelers lose a playoff game to Houston. We watched the Seahawks win a Super Bowl. The Steelers have Mike Tomlin step down as head coach. And the Steelers, of course, add Mike McCarthy as their new head coach. So, Bug, lots of topics, lots of areas to go. This show's all about just catching back up with Bugboo. Which one of those do you want to start with? And go ahead and talk about it.
The Super Bowl.
Go ahead, talk about the Super Bowl.
Seahawks won it.
Anything else to say other than the Seahawks won it?
They beat the Patriots.
They did. The Patriots now have more Super Bowl losses than anybody else. I think they only have a 500 record in the Super Bowl, so they can take that. Some fun things happen in there. I mean, how the kicker didn't get MVP for the Seahawks for the Super Bowl, it's a little beyond me, but, you know. What'd you think about the game as a whole? Entertaining? Did you like it?
Looks like the Seahawks was dominating from point one.
Yeah, pretty much. Any plays or things that stuck out to you in the game?
None.
None, okay. Other things that are really known with the Super Bowl, halftime show. Did you enjoy watching the Bad Bunny halftime show?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was your favorite part?
Bad Bunny falls through the roof.
Oh, falling through the roof. I thought for sure you're going to be at the age where you're going to say, all the girls who are shaking their booties out on the stage. I thought for sure that's where you were going with that one. He's super red in embarrassment right now, just to let you all know. Yeah, as you can hear it in his tone of voice, it's gone to a higher octave here as Bugboo's getting to that age where that stuff seems to get going. Commercial-wise, let's talk about commercials. Any commercials that stuck out to you for good, bad, things that'll live on in your head?
None.
None? There wasn't a single commercial? Not even the release the tight end that got you?
Oh, yeah, that one.
Anything else? No, man, you gotta pay more attention out there. I thought the pop culture stuff would hit a little better to home with you. You know, you're that age where that stuff's starting to be influential. I guess probably if they had a commercial where someone said 6'7", you wouldn't stop talking about it.
6'7". That's 2025, 2020. Oh, by the I can't say words.
Yeah, apparently not. He's all hot and bothered from the Bad Bunny halftime show, rethinking about it. Lex, do you want to talk about the Steelers losing their playoff game, how that Houston game went? You want to talk about the new head coach, how you feel about those things? Any of that?
TJ Watt needs to step up, and we need to learn how to score points.
We definitely need to learn how to score points. Yeah, TJ Watt not having the greatest game. The offense couldn't really move the ball. I don't think the defense played bad, but, you know, Aaron Rodgers, I think, gave up 14 points by himself to the Texans. Just a really boring game that's came to really be what Mike Tomlin was in the playoffs ever since 2015 or 2016, 17, that range, whatever year that Jaguars loss was. This just feels like what you get with the Steelers in the playoffs is just a game where they just, I don't know, like sometimes you lose a game and it's a fun game, you know, but since you've been alive, Bug, it feels like every one of these playoff losses is one of those ones where it's not even fun to watch the game. Did you have fun watching that game?
No.
No, nothing to say about it?
I want old Steelers football back.
Old Steelers football can never come back because it was physical, hard-nosed, and knock you out, and that's not the way football's played anymore. But what we need is the Steelers to evolve into modern football and maybe find success in the modern game. Of course, that Texans loss was all that Mike Tomlin could handle, writing on the wall. It sounded like Rooney wanted him back, but I think Tomlin really didn't like the way the fans were starting to turn on him. Had another terrible loss after pumping his chest and bragging pretty much the division with the Ravens. He decides to hang it up. Won a lot in my era. You've only known Mike Tomlin as a head coach. You've never seen any other head coach. You have anything to say about Mike Tomlin's decision to step away from the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Say it's probably good for us, but hopefully we'll go to a Super Bowl.
Hopefully. The Steelers have moved on and they hire Pittsburgh native and former Green Bay Packer head coach who beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl, former Dallas Cowboy head coach who had mediocre success there, Mike McCarthy, an offensive-minded coach. That's something new for the Steelers. The last three guys, I think Noel was a defensive guy, Cowher definitely was, and Tomlin a defensive guy. Moving into a different era, and for once hiring an older coach and not a younger coach, something Pittsburgh hasn't done, as they've had three coaches since the 70s, all of them lasting like 15-plus years. Little different here, different feel, different take with Mike McCarthy coming in. What are your takes here on Mike McCarthy, Bug? I know you're not old enough to really evaluate too much into coaching and that, but you've heard a little bit, you've seen a little bit, you've heard a lot of people not like the hire. A lot of people stand behind it or for it because finally it's an offensive coach. How do you feel about this?
Good.
Good. Also, Mike McCarthy comes in, brings in his new coaches, gets rid of most of the old coaches, and has the biggest coaching staff the Steelers have had. His coaching staff's already, I believe, 2 or 3 coaches bigger than what Mike Tomlin had. There seems to be an emphasis on the offensive side of the ball, developing things, extra quarterback coaches, a bunch of coaches who have offensive line experience. You think that's going to be a good thing for him?
That's probably going to be the key this year.
Yeah, I could hear that. A lot of people don't like the fact that he said he wants to call his own plays, but if you look around the league, that's what every offensive head coach, in my opinion, does. That's a good one. Do you have any concern with Mike McCarthy calling the plays on offense?
As long as he doesn't want to run the ball every single play.
That's fair. The Steelers, traditionally a 3-4 team, bring in McCarthy, who's always more run 4-3 defenses. He said he's going to stick with a 3-4. But do you expect to see a lot of changes in the way this defense is run, moving to Mike McCarthy and bringing in, I can't think of what his name is now, the defensive coordinator from the Raiders coming in to become the new defensive coordinator? Do you think the way the defense is going to be run is going to be different? And if so, do you think it's going to be a lot different, or do you think it's going to stay mostly similar?
I want it a lot different and sacking the quarterback.
That's fair. Off-season has started. Now the Steelers have some big-time impending free agents. Gainwell's going to be out there. Aaron Rodgers is a free agent who may or may not come back. Do you think the Steelers need to retain these free agents, or do you think the Steelers should start doing a roster overhaul with a new coach, change directions, change faces?
Change faces.
Change faces?
Keep the running back.
You want to keep the running back there. So you're pretty much just saying you don't want Aaron Rodgers to quarterback this team next year?
He's too slow, and when those big ones, he misses them.
Okay. That's a good take from you. That's pretty much everything I have to talk to you about. We talked about new coach, getting rid of coach, Steelers lost Super Bowl. Is there any football stuff or any stuff you want to talk about before we give this a wrap?
No.
None whatsoever?
Yep.
Okay. Any shout-outs you want to give for the end of the season?
Congratulations, Seahawks.
Shout out to the Seahawks. Okay. Well, I'm going to add a couple shout outs this week, Bug, because I didn't do a show by myself. So you're here on the main show this week. Look at that. You get to step up, be part of the main broadcast. We'll probably do that a couple more times this offseason. I'm going to give a shout out to a couple Pittsburgh legends who sadly passed away this week. Mike Wagner, safety, defensive back, 60s, 70s Steelers. I believe it was the time frame, might have been into the 80s, but I believe it was 60s, 70s Steelers player, maybe not even in the 60s. Great player out there. And, of course, Hall of Famer and just, well, at least Pirates Hall of Famer, and just World Series hero, something I have never got to see the Pirates get to a World Series. But Bill Mazeroski, I've got to see him around, in Pirates broadcast, things like that. He passed away too, sadly. So 2 huge Pittsburgh sports icons who have passed away. recently, and of course, I want to give a shout out to both U.S. hockey teams beating Canada in overtime to win gold medals. For some reason, Bug here has decided to root for Canada of all teams. I don't care if Sidney Crosby played on Canada. There is zero reason to be rooting for Canada in the Olympics when they play the U.S. Bug. That's just unacceptable behavior. I gotta let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly is. All right, now it's time to let you know I'm the Viking Donkey. It's Viking_Donkey at Twitch and Twitter. Your daily dose Donkey and Ginger is awesome YouTube channel where you get this content. There's gonna be more content. I'm gonna try to get at least out 3 things a week starting soon. We're gonna try to get it to where the daily dose of Donkey and Ginger is actually a daily dose of something. Hence the title of the channel. Make a little fun. They're gonna be short quids, not long things. Probably less than 5-minute episodes. Trying to get it out every day. Maybe we'll have Bug on to talk about his sports take of the week or something like that. Just fun stuff to keep the channel, having some content out there for the consumption of the people. He's the bugaboo, he ain't got no socials, ain't got none of that stuff. Maybe if we ever add a face cam to my show, he might show up and you might get to see him go, make his weird faces and watch me embarrass him when I talk about, ladies shaking their body parts on TV, things like that to keep it fun. But, Bug, let him know.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. 6-time change.